This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain shocking revelations, violence, and sexual themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Hand of Glory, and this will be the 7th time we've run this one-shot. It was written by Allan, Carey, and it's from the collection Seeds of Terror. It's available from the Miskatonic repository. So, without any further delays, let's begin our journey into the darkness. It's late June, 1926. The temperature is moderate, the sky is overcast, which is typical for the English moors. The landscape is composed of low rolling hills covered in grasses, heathers, and wildflowers, interspersed with groves of trees. Birds chirp, bees buzz, and the croaking of frogs can be heard from the shady spots near mossy creeks. Some find the moors monotonous and boring, but as members of the North Yorkshire Ramblers, you are happy to be here. This is a perfect day for a hike, for bird watching, and for getting back to nature. You are currently walking along an old dirt road. What are you guys talking about?
Now, I say there, Patrick, what is the status of that manuscript we were looking for? I know it's only been a week, but, I have clients that need it.
Uh, they're quite stingy. They're asking for more money, old boy. I'm trying to scrounge up the funds, but with some other separate sales. But well, it might take a little bit longer than it should. I
I mean,
apologize.
I'm not as liquid as I can. One of my, esteemed clients, I say, looking at Howard, is a bit in arrears for lack of a better term. Howard, as I elbow you a little.
The sooner you find me that manuscript, the sooner I can pay you.
As you guys,
Oh, look, a dandelion. Do you
oh yeah,
guys
there's
do
lots of
know?
those.
You guys do know that I was the one that discovered the health benefits of dandelions. They naturally have vitamin D. I just won the award for discovering that vitamins help scurvy, rickets, and infertility. Here, eat some, Pat. Pat, eat this. Eat it right. Eat this.
I'm just gonna like
Charlie,
take it and just immediately just like, and then when she's not looking, I'm just going.
Charlie, and I pass out the dandelions to everybody.
Thank you, Danielle. I'll save it for later, for a rainy day. Stuff it in my jacket.
I stuff it into my lapel.
And as William, as you say that, as you walk along, you begin to notice a few drops of rain. The low rolling of thunder echoes through the hills, distant at first, but slowly approaching. A nearby grove of trees seems to offer some shelter. But as the foliage begins to collect the moisture from the air, it drips even more than the sky itself. You notice a wide path cutting through the grove with wagon ruts in the damp clay. A little while on, and you see up ahead an old coaching inn where, in days of yore, a stagecoach might have stopped for a rest and a bite to eat. You can see smoke coming from the chimney, so someone is there, though you think they must not get very much traffic these days. As you approach, you can see that there is a glow of light through the windows. There is a wide raised porch that circles the building, and a sign above the door that says, Witch Elm Inn. You see a few walking sticks and umbrellas propped up next to the door, and a fancy wrought iron boot scraper to scrape the mud off your shoes. You can also hear the faint sound of a radio playing inside. As you step up, what would you like to do?
Ah, look, friends, what perfect luck. A place for us to get out of the rain and maybe, warm our stomachs a little bit.
Well, I say, the Witch Elm. It's a bit of an ominous name, don't you think? Suppose
I mean,
beggars can't be choosers.
is that another plant with vitamin benefits, Danielle?
Yeah, yes, vitamin E, F,
And
K,
W?
K, W,
Okay.
While they're
Uh,
talking, I'm going to clean my boots. It's the polite thing to do, but I keep my umbrella open until we're all ready to go in, and then I would close it, put it in the rack, and get out of the rain, even though I'm still nice and dry.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do something similar. But I'm probably not gonna stick my umbrella in with the others, just because I'm thinking, eh, well, there's quite a few here, and I'd rather it not get, lost among them or stolen or some other. I'm a bit sort of protective of this umbrella, you might say.
they're kind of distinctive enough, though, that you could probably tell
Ah,
yours from the
I
others.
thought they were all. I thought they were all sort of together. All right, well, I'll put it there then. Fair enough.
I will open the door and let people in.
Okay. As you open the door and you step in, the floorboards creak. Uh, the pleasant smell of roasting meat and fresh bread permeate the air, along with the yeasty smell of beer. There are more people in here than you expected, sitting at tables around the room. They're a bit rustic looking. Some are eating and drinking. The radio becomes more ominous when everyone goes quiet and suddenly turns and stares at you. The
It might
barkeep looks up from what he's doing. He wipes his hands quickly. He adopts a big smile and he moves over to greet you. Afternoon, folks. Welcome to the Witch Elm Inn. I'm the owner, Addison Boulder. Please make yourselves comfortable. We don't get many strangers out here nowadays. Have you been rambling?
Yes, Mr. Boulder. Do you have a table that would fit all of us?
Yes, certainly. Sit right over here. Can I get you something to eat or drink? We have whiskey, ale, coffee, tea. I can bring you a plowman's or a bowl of stew or with some fresh bread if you're hungry.
stew and bread would be great.
All
You
of
have
the
any
above.
sherry?
Oh, yes, we do, sir.
I will take some sherry.
Take a pint of your finest bitter, please, landlord.
So he takes your order and he goes back behind the bar. You can see that there is a door that goes into a small kitchen. He goes through that. The people sort of go back to their quiet conversations. A lot of people just sitting, sort of staring at one another or staring down at the food that they're eating. The furniture in the place is old and from lots of use, it's very smooth and buttery, that sort of lovely old wood feeling. um there's not a lot of decoration. It doesn't look like, it's not a like a modern place where they decorate everything to look cool. This
Is
is
it
just
is it in like particularly good condition, or is it like sort of falling into disrepair a little?
yeah, no, it's clean. um it's not dirty, but it's fairly old.
Hmm.
You'd say it's probably, maybe 20, 30, 40 years old, somewhere around there. Um, Obviously built when they used to have stagecoaches.
Any trophies on the wall, any plaques, anything like that? That might look like it's
Um,
worth money.
well, there is a dartboard, um, and a mirror. You can see a few things like that, maybe an old painting or two. There's a place behind the bar where he has alcohol stored. It's not quite like a modern bar, but it looks like they've got a fair amount of things. You do notice too that there is up on one of the top shelves something that sort of catches your eye. Uh, you're not sure what it is, but you've seen old clocks that uh, are on little pedestals and then they have a glass dome over the top of them. Well, it seems to be something like that. You can't see what's inside, but you can see this little glass dome up there on the top shelf.
And
Um,
it's not prominently displayed or anything. It's just like,
Not really. It looks like it
oh,
might be just a little dusty up there. Um, Addison brings you your food, your drink. Everything is the smell of it is delicious. The bread seems to be fairly fresh, probably baked that day, and the alcohol and the tea and everything is really nice. Um, I'd like you all to do spot hidden as you're sitting there. Oh, there's also a little radio on the bar that's playing quietly.
I am deep in my cup of sherry.
97. All I see is stew and more stew.
I passed, but barely.
31 out of 50, so a success.
Okay.
I think I got stew in my eye, literally, so that's why I couldn't see anything.
Well,
I
I mean,
unfortunately failed.
the food is good. The food's attractive, and you're just sort of glancing around. Those of you who passed, you begin to notice a couple of things. Um, Maybe it's that rural people don't always like it when strangers come into their space, but everybody seems kind of dour. You're not seeing laughter. You're not seeing people who look like they're enjoying themselves. They're more or less quietly eating or just sort of staring, at one another. And occasionally you'll get, a backwards glance from somebody who looks over in your direction. Um, you're sitting there for maybe 20, 30 minutes. Um, you think otherwise this would be quite a pleasant place. Maybe it's just, these all look like locals. They're dressed in ways that you would imagine that they might have farms nearby or something like that. Um, and something odd happens. The small little radio that's sitting on the bar, it's playing some local music of some sort. Nothing loud or just sort of background noise. It suddenly goes to static, and you see Addison walk over to it, and he looks up at it, and he looks out at the crowd, and he says, "Well, I think that's it. I think it's about time." And he climbs up on a bar stool and he grabs that thing off the top shelf and he pulls it down and lifts the dusty glass cover off. And it takes you a minute to figure out what you're looking at. And it looks like a very oddly shaped candle, maybe. It's black and it looks very much like a hand with one finger up, like this. And as he says this, he strikes a match. And you can see there's a little wick here on the tip of the finger, which he lights. You guys want to do anything?
I say there, Mr. Boulder, what's going on here?
He looks over at you, and he doesn't have a smile on his face. He almost has a look in his face of regret.
Is everything the better? or anything the matter or other.
I'd like you all to do Constitution
Oh,
rolls.
Oh boy, here we
Wonderful.
go.
Okay, that's better than my spot hidden roll by a large margin.
pass.
I really like
Hard
to, or
success.
Also a fail.
Fumble. 100.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Fumble. I like that. Fumble.
Uh,
Okay. So,
I,
Charlie, as you're standing there, you're looking over at him and you're trying to figure out what William just said. And as you do, you feel warm and you feel comfortable, and the food was good, and boom, you go out.
well, I did
Um,
order the shot
And
and the ale and the.
yeah, you feel like you were drunk.
is it anything different for me? Because I also failed, or is it just the same for me?
You failed, but you didn't get a fumble. You
Ah,
feel like you suddenly realize that you're trying to orient yourself like you have been on a binge drinking for a couple of days. And you're also getting extremely groggy. The rest of you are getting groggy. You feel a little woozy, like something is wrong.
you
Want to do?
bastard. What did you put in that food?
that's weird, Stu.
What is that
I'm going to walk up
candle?
towards him if I can.
Oh, well, if you try to get
Wall?
up, you immediately realize that you'll just end up falling down if you try to get up. Your legs are going out from under you.
While I'm fading fast here, I have a large amount of knowledge in the occult.
Okay.
That hand candle has given me bad vibes. Could I have some kind of roll to recall what I can as I'm fading out here? Because I mean,
Do an
we're in a
occult roll.
bad situation.
You can do an
Um,
occult roll, or if you had folklore or
I rolled an
something like that.
extreme.
Oh,
Oh.
Lord.
Well, you never ever thought that you would see one of these, but it's it's almost got an old legend to it. It used to be, the legend is that thieves, using black magic, would create an object called a hand of glory. And they would do this by cutting off the right or left hand of a murderer who is hanging on the gibbet, dead. And they would treat the hand in a certain way by dipping it in tallow and burying it under the ground and saying certain ritual spells. And then this hand would become kind of like a candle. And that if the thieves lit the candle, it would cause everyone in the house to fall into a deep sleep. And then the thieves could steal everything and get away without the people there knowing that they were there. This seems to fit the description perfectly of a hand of glory. And by the time you've thought that through and begun to drift into a kind of dream about folklore, everything goes black for all of you. You have no concept of how much time has passed. As you slowly climb back out of the darkness towards consciousness, the first thing that you notice is an odd foul smell, like old sausage water that's boiled for too long. Your eyes remain closed and you can feel the air is stagnant and chilly. The surface of the table that you're slumped over is rough and heavy, not like the table at the Witch Elm Inn. You hear a voice nearby. It sounds like the barkeep, Addison Boulder. He's pleading with someone. Auntie, please, release us from this curse. It's been 5 years. Look what I brought you. You hear a second voice, raspy and old and as rough as the wood of the table. 5 years to the day, and now we're through. You took these from me, so I took those from you. You be a fool, Addison Boulder, and the others as well. You tempt me to bargain, but you've doomed us to hell. As your eyes slowly open, the room is dark, and the fireplace burns low. As you adjust, you realize that you're not at the inn, but somewhere much older. This building is of archaic wattle and daub construction, like something from before the age of brick and mortar. The walls are brown, and you can smell the mud and the dung in the air. The windows are dirty and small, and there's no light coming through them. Is it night? There are bundles of plants and herbs and other shapeless things hanging from the rotting rafters. Lambent light is coming from the hearth, casting shadows too dark to penetrate. A bead of sweat runs across your temple and into the corner of your eye. It stings, and as you go to wipe it, that's when you realize that your wrists are shackled to the table. Your legs, too, seem to be strained. You struggle for a moment, making just a little bit of noise. Addison cries out, "Auntie, we only wanted to," but the old voice cuts him off. "No more, no more. It's silence for you. Ah, these little conies are waking. Now what shall we do?" From out of the deep shadows, there emerges an old woman, a crone. She's draped in multiple shawls, gray and tattered, forming a cowl around her head. Her back is arched over, burdened with age. Your first impression is that she's small, but as she approaches the table, you realize that if she could stand up straight, she would be quite tall indeed. Her shape seems exaggerated, as if the shawls had been heaped over her, a mountain of old wool. She smiles a toothless smile, and the cracks and wrinkles in her face make her look like she's been carved out of wood. She creaks and rattles towards you. It's then that you realize that both of her hands are missing. From the scars, it looks like they were cut off years ago. Let's take a look and see what's here. Addison the Cur wants a dog a deal, but he brings me all of you. He brings me 10, but I only needs 2.
What? 10? 2? What are you speaking of, woman? Stop with the riddles.
If I look at the table that we are all tied to, how would I assess it based on my superior woodcrafting skills? Like, is there like a place
Rude.
we could?
It's crude, maybe from 400 years ago. It's heavy, it's made of oak, it's rough hewn, it's not smooth at all, but it's also extremely heavy, like maybe 4 inches thick. And you are chained to it with iron shackles. So you're not really chained, you're shackled down to the table, so you can't really move much at all.
Now, good madam, I can't do much for you at this stage, but free me and I shall help you craft this disgusting piece of furniture into something, worthy of you. I am a renowned, woods craftsman.
Billy boy, something tells me she's not after a new table.
Couldn't hurt.
You look over at Addison, and when she told him to stop talking and be silent, he seems to have violently shaken just a little bit. And then now he's standing there and there is just drool coming out of his mouth, and he's completely motionless, kind of slumped forward.
What did you do to him?
As she says, so what do we have here? She's exactly what you'd expect from an old crone. And as she walks forward, she looks particularly at Danielle.
No!
She begins to loom forward. What do you guys want to do?
Madam, I take it.
Call me
Addison?
Auntie. Everyone calls me Auntie.
I take it Addison there and his fellows have harmed you in some way.
Wronged you, yes.
Could you tell us more? What did they do? We, of course, are just ramblers. We have not hurt you. Maybe we can help you. Please, tell us what they did.
5 years ago, they took something from me most precious. Me hands. She holds up her stumps.
Oh, crap.
She says,
They're
they've had
monsters.
5 years they've had to bring them back to me, and they have failed.
The villains.
This stubborn one has failed, and our time is nearly through. He's trapped me here, but he's also trapped you.
We're trapped? I know we're restrained, but trapped? How?
As he trapped me, he brought you here. And now we're stuck together.
How can we get untrapped?
She walks about and thinks for a moment, and she says, they took me hence from me, so I took their children. And they've come back each year, but they won't give me back me hands. Get me hands back for me, and I'll let you go.
That candle they had on the shelf, is that one of your hands?
I know nothing of these things. I cannot leave.
But what did you do to them beyond taking their children? Like, and I looked to point at Addison. Like
Nothing.
What was that?
I lived in the woods and I took care of my own children. And they came and they bound me and they took me hands. And for this, I had my revenge. They thought they would leave me here forever, all alone. But I got their children and pulled them here as well. And now they're all trapped.
I mean, it sounds like you were minding your own business, ma'am, and then they just assaulted you. That is wrong. We should find the constabulary, make sure they are punished to the full extent of the law. And if I could say that while rhyming, I would, just so I could build a better repartee with you.
If you unbind me, I would agree to go and try to retrieve your hands.
You'd make a bargain with me.
Yeah. We like bargains.
I'll let you all go to retrieve me hands. But I need an assurance. And she looks over and she goes, Addison. And you see Addison just sort of lurch upwards. He's obviously mindless at this point. And she says, she comes close to the table and looks down, and she comes closer towards Danielle, and with her stump, she kind of reaches down and caresses the back of Danielle's left hand. And she says, "My, what pretty hands you have. What an assurance you can make." And she looks towards Addison, and Addison comes out of the shadows with a huge meat cleaver and brings it down.
Wait, no. She can teach you
On
about like
Danielle's arm.
exfoliating. You're fine.
He brings it down, chomp, and for a moment, Danielle, you feel a sharp burning pain, and your hand falls forward. You are, in essence, at this point, really you can pull it right out of the shackle, but surprisingly, it's not bleeding very much. A few drops of blood on the table. And as you're all looking, the old woman puts her left stump onto the table, and your severed hand pops up onto its fingertips and begins running across the table towards her hand. And it turns around, and you can see the sinews and veins inside of her wrist sort of open up, and your hand becomes fused to her wrist. At the same time, your own wrist seems to be quickly healing over, and there's no pain, no blood. You can all do sanity rolls.
What the fuck?
What
Oh, no.
thing is that?
Nope. I'm pretty sure 75 is going to be a failure. Yep. Not by
Oh
a
my
lot, but
God.
yep.
I got 100.
Oof.
Makes
no.
sense. Makes sense.
Something tells me 87 would be a fail. So I'm gonna, that's a
I
fail.
only have a 40 sanity, but I rolled a 32.
42, I'm oddly okay with it.
So if you pass, take at least 1 point of damage, and
kitty
if you fail, do 1d4. And
Oh,
in
just
Danielle's
1d4.
case,
No worries.
well, Daniel, you got a bad one. You got 2 kitty cats, so you're going to take the whole 4.
Fuzzy.
If it makes you feel any better, I am too. I roll a 4.
You were probably right next to me.
Dear God!
No. This can't be true. It must be the drugs. We're hallucinating, people.
Well, you feel like
Oh.
you're hallucinating.
I don't
That's-
think so. This is too weird to be a dream.
God. I've studied the occult all my life. I never thought it was real.
And you see Auntie.
Then
and
why did
she's
you
now-
study it?
She's now up.
I thought it was interesting.
And she says, "That's good. That's good for now, but only temporary."
I want to
Says-
try to like slap her in the face with my hand.
You can't reach her.
No, like with her
Right.
Yeah,
It's like
you
the
can't-
thing, it just
can't
hits
reach
with her my hand.
You're still bound. And then she says, "Sinister and Dexter, one for the left and one for the right." And then she uses this hand to reach down and pick up the cleaver. And
Oh,
she says, "So who shall it be? Shall you choose or me?"
Might I suggest the person that harmed you? Addison has a right that seems to be perfect for you.
You
We, of course, have
misunderstand.
done nothing.
You
to
misunderstand that the bargain's between us. He's destroyed his bargain. He'd do me no good, taking his hand. I have to have one of yours. She says, "If you get me what I want, I'll give them back to you."
Well, that's something that you're taking from us and then giving back isn't really a surety of a bargain. You want our active and good participation in this. Do you have anything else that you would pay us?
We're
So
under
that would be
duress. This
security,
contract
other than
doesn't
just our
stand
hand.
anyways, Charlie.
You can't nudge me because your arms are blocked.
We're under duress.
all right.
It's not binding.
We're
I
gonna
would
twist
like.
our arm about it. Let's just get it
Would
over
you
with.
have
Take
any
mine.
trinkets that you would pay us, and like a good hired contract, we would then meet what you would want.
She walks over to you, Charlie, and with her hand, she sort of her new hand, I guess Danielle's hand, she sort of caresses your face and she says, "You don't understand, dearie. If I don't get those hands back before sunrise, we're all trapped here forever."
Well then, let's stop with the
No,
lollygag.
it's a no on the trinkets then.
You get what you get. So who shall it be? Shall I have a volunteer, or shall I take the one that I want? And
I
she
think
looks
Bumpton
at each
volunteered.
of you.
We
What's
don't
that?
have a choice here. Just take mine. But you better believe I'm gonna get it back. Ooh, voice crack.
All right. Well, before you can change your mind, her left hand comes down on
I
top
close
of
my
your
eyes. I close my eyes.
right hand, and she chomps off your hand. Same thing. It stings for a second, and then the pain just seems to go away. Your wound begins to heal itself, and her now she has a right hand comes back together, and she has both. And she says, "Now go. Follow the path back to the inn, and bring me back me hands." And she sort of stands back with her hands for a moment and raises them, and she says, "Bring back me hands, and I'll let you go. The children, their parents, and Addison too. Between the two parties, we've made an accord. Your hands I'll give back and attach as reward. 2 hands taken, 2 hands given, on this solstice night forgiven. A bargain made, a bargain cast. Keep the deal, or it will be your last."
Well,
And the
riddle me
shackles
this, riddle me
suddenly,
that.
the shackles suddenly release, and
We're
it's
free.
only when you sort of reorient yourselves and try to stand up, you feel a little shaky. You realize that if she were to completely stand up, she could be 9 feet tall. And there's something odd in the way she's sort of draped over with all of these shawls that you can't really see any part of her except her face. And when she moves, it sounds shuffly. So she points at the door. Go. You've got only a few small amount of time before the sun comes up.
I don't need to be told twice. I'm out of there.
We'll need a guide.
Here.
Can we take Addison and he can be our guide because he would know where it is.
You can take Addison all you
All
want,
right.
but
I want
Addison's a babbling idiot at this point.
I mean, it could be useful if there are wolves, so I'll take him along.
I don't know how good a snake will be against a wolf. By the way, Thom, I assume I have to roll sand for getting a hand cut off?
Yeah, you can roll sand for getting a hand cut off.
I fail?
Yeah, take 4. Or do 1d4. 1d4.
Do we need to roll?
I rolled another 4.
Time?
I'm sorry.
I am going.
What was that, Finbar?
Do we need to roll a second, like for seeing it a second time? Seeing a hand get cut off a second time?
I closed my eyes.
You kind of knew what you were going to see, so I don't think so. The whole situation's pretty terrifying. All right, so the door.
Scientifically, how do you explain the really quick wounds being healed and the blood, Dinya?
Yeah, so I'm pretty jacked up on vitamins right now. I told you my discoveries were really good.
Oh, the dandelions help seal the wound?
The dandelions, yeah.
That makes sense. He starts eating the one you gave him.
So
room and,
But
and table is
mhm,
pretty old. Is there
extremely.
anything out of history or legend? Because this obviously is outside of the normal realm.
Do you have any occult? I don't even think you'd need it. This is a fucking witch. This is some sort of classic in the woods witch, as far as you're concerned.
So, I mean, if we all leave, both of you would lose a hand, but we all be alive.
We listen, there are forces at work here we don't understand, and we've made a deal here. I mean, did you hear that little rhyme she just did? That doesn't sound like running away is a good idea.
I think you two did, but the three of us didn't give consent.
You say this as you step outside. Um, since William, you're talking to Howard, and Howard, you're talking to William. Uh, Nothing. Don't do anything, but the rest of you do spot hiddens.
Okay.
And we just keep bickering back and forth.
Oh, 24.
Pass.
Hard.
I got an extreme.
Okay. So we'll start it then with Patrick. But as you step out into the front of this dilapidated, crudely built, like I say, Wattle and Daub, something like from the Middle Ages building. Um, the yard in the front. Oh, it's the middle of the night too. The the ground is kind of spongy, like there's moss on the ground, and it's weird to walk on, like it's like you're in a moor, like in the moors, some places when it's muddy or soft in the moors. Those of you who passed, you look around to notice that the forest that you're in, the trees are bigger and somehow more full. But Patrick, as you step out, your eyes go upward. And as you look up in the sky, there is a gigantic red planet and a moon, and all of the stars are wrong. And there is a kind of a bluish purple nebula that's there. And you just fall open mouthed, staring up at the sky. Uh, and slowly by degrees, as each of you notices Patrick stopped in his tracks, you're not on Earth.
Oh,
Uh,
Hold on, you. It's drugs. We're all hallucinating.
Doesn't
would
feel
uh
like drugs.
would a natural world,
yeah, natural
if
world.
we're even in our solar system?
You'd have no way of, you have never seen anything like this
Those
before.
look like earthly trees, maybe
Right,
natural
yeah.
world on the
Does it look like
trees.
real wood?
Well, do you want to go over and take a look?
Oh,
You're
I
kind of in a front yard clearing.
Right, or a branch, like
I
on the
mean,
ground, so I'm not near a living tree.
I
Uh,
would go over and see if I can find a stick or a club.
Yeah.
okay. As you move closer to the edge of the, we'll say, roughly circular front area, I will let you notice that there is kind of a tunnel through the trees, a path leading away. But Charlie, as you go over towards the edge of the circle, do a spot hidden for me.
Oh, cool. Oh, just barely. 49.
Yeah, these are these definitely look like big old growth trees with very craggly bark on them. But there's something intangibly wrong about sort of the way they're shaped. You don't know quite what it is, but you realize too that you can hear this low creaking sound of the tree itself. And as you look up, you realize that the trees are all moving a little bit, but there's no wind.
uh,
I slowly back away and get next to the group and say, I don't want to go near those trees. And I really think we need to follow that path, go get our hands, and get the hell out of here.
So
Agreed.
there are no branches, no detritus, no nothing on the
There
path.
doesn't seem to be any detritus anywhere. No
The
broken off
trees are moving by
branches.
themselves, everyone. There's no wind, and they're moving by themselves.
Yeah.
Considering I just saw hands crawling around tables and wounds mysteriously closing up, my suspension of disbelief is willing to accept that at this point.
Yes, I am thoroughly in that is the least of my concerns about what's wrong right now.
Definitely don't want to get near those trees, though. I don't like the sound of them moving.
Did you all
Imagine
eat
if,
the,
yeah.
did you all eat the stew? And were there mushrooms in the stew?
I mean, I had the
I had
stew and I was
sherry.
fine.
I didn't. I only had a pint.
Mushroom beer?
Like a
Well, I
little
asked for a
Mickey
bitter.
in there, perhaps.
Well,
Those
I asked for
vitamin
a bitter
K's,
if
they'll
that's
get
what
you
he.
one way or another.
Mhm.
I think we have to go down the path. We only have till sunrise.
Yeah, we should walk and talk, maybe. I think that
We
might be
need to
wise.
get my
Might
hands
be,
back.
might
But
might be for the best.
yeah, a
The
sunrise,
pa-
like how long is sunrise? This isn't Earth, so like how long does that take?
And we're walking.
William,
And we're
do you
walking.
have any kind of, I don't know, astronomy or
What?
maybe natural world?
I have natural world.
That's some natural
I
world.
mean, wood is part of the natural world, right?
I'm in a natural world.
We're all ramblers. I think we
Oh my
all have a
God.
little bit.
Right.
I'll give
I'm
it a go.
rambling.
If it meets, it beats.
Dead
Uh,
on, yeah.
Nowhere near.
I would
I've
Well,
got
try to use
nothing.
my natural world to figure out how long until daylight, maybe.
well, that's what we're working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have no idea, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
22 out of 30. But yeah.
But there's obviously no big giant sun up in the sky. So it must be on the opposite side of this planet that you're on, whatever planet this is.
Yep.
Right. And when she says 5 years, who knows how long 1 year is on this planet?
Who knows
you
how
can
long a day is on this planet?
you can also tell that from, as I say, there's planets and things in the sky from the crescent of the light. Yeah, the sun is down here somewhere and probably slowly coming around the way stars don't, the way planets rotate. Your planet's rotating, the star isn't moving. Now, as you go towards this, like I say, tunnel through the trees, you are in both cases about 6 feet now from the trees themselves, and they are overgrown so that it's making a kind of tunnel that you're going through. And you all become aware of this really slight creaking of the trees, and you can see when you look at them that they're moving, and they're not quite swaying all in the same direction at the same time. They're moving independently of one another.
I'm going to hunch over so I'm not as tall, and I'm going to try to be in the exact center of the pathway so it's equal distance from the trees.
Okay.
I want
I'm
to
gonna
be
yell
shorter.
out, yeah. I'm gonna yell, you can't touch us. We're working for Auntie. You can't touch us, and see if there's any reaction.
No reaction.
The trees aren't sentient.
Everybody do a listen roll.
Dude, my dice are in the 70s tonight.
Ooh, 65. Ooh, you guys
I got
passed
an
it.
extreme.
If this was
Fumble.
Delta Green, I would have had a critical fumble, but I'm fine.
Fumble.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Under it
extreme.
again.
so
What?
if you fumbled, you're too afraid to even pay any attention. Patrick, you once again got a really good roll. You're pretty sure you can hear people talking up ahead,
Okay.
faintly, but up ahead. You also all sort of notice a few little twinkles of light farther down the path as you're going. And after a couple more minutes walking on this path, you realize that it once again opens into a large, sort of circular clearing. And the twinkles are coming from candles. There are maybe 20 people in this grove, and it takes you a second to figure it out, but you're pretty sure these are the people from the inn. And they're sort of paired in, they're paired up with one another. There's two here and two over here. And they have little children with them. And they seem to be, dad's on his knee. He's got a boy in front of him, and he's saying, "How have you been? Are you all right? How do you feel?" And as you're watching and you listen for a moment, the children's responses are, "Oh, we've been very good. Auntie has been very good taking care of us." And the children seem completely unperturbed by their surroundings, but the parents are obviously kind of freaked out and crying and in distress with their children. Addison has do you guys still want to drag him along, because he's just eventually going to sit down and just sort of
If we're bringing him along, I'm making no effort to assist him.
I'm going to see if there's like a key or anything in his pocket in case we need to break into the inn again or whatever.
When we see the kids, can I just turn around? Like when we see like the kids all like they've obviously been taken. I think I can probably ascertain that these are the kids that were taken by Auntie. Can I just turn around and just clock Addison on the jaw?
Sure.
Because
you can't miss, and you can't you can't miss. You can just do some damage to him.
Wow.
Like this.
Oh, look out. Are you okay, Addison? I go up and make sure he's okay and pick his pocket.
He's just going to go down like he didn't even feel it, although you most definitely did damage to him.
I rolled like a 1. So
in his pocket, you might find some identification. You might find a couple of bucks or pounds, and you do find the keys to the inn.
That was wise, William.
Well, I mean, I needed money too, so yeah.
People
So
of
what do you guys
the
do?
inn in the village.
Do they all have hands? Like the children, everyone, are they all handed?
Oh yeah. A few of the people look over at you.
You there? What did you do to this auntie?
We don't. Well, let's see. You're just generally talking to the entire crowd.
And I hold up one of their unhanded hands.
One of the men says to his wife and child, he says something quietly, and then he stands up and turns around and walks towards you, and he says, "Listen, we don't have time. We're only going to have a few hours now left with our children. We haven't seen them in a year."
Well, maybe
that witch trapped them here.
yes, and she told us that she would let us go if she got her hands back.
Yeah,
Where
she's
did she
told
put
us
her
that
hands?
too, but she's a witch. She's evil.
Sure, but where are her hands? Please tell us.
Well, they're at the end, but
How did you get her hands to begin with?
what was that question?
Why did you take her hands?
Because she's a witch.
How did you find her?
She was murdering people.
In our world? Because we're not on Earth anymore.
Don't you read the newspapers?
No.
She's like, "Look, I don't have time for this. I want to spend this time with my family." And
Which way
he
to
just
the
turns
inn?
around and walks away.
If you help us, we can maybe
He
free all of
points
them.
to another exit going out of the grove, back
Uh,
through another tunnel of trees.
No, but if you help us, we could rescue them and they could be home with you forever.
Don't you think we've tried in 5 years? Just
No.
no.
go and leave us alone to our fate.
Gladly. Straight to
Yeah,
the exit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right behind Patrick.
let's
Yeah.
force march it down this other path, and hopefully it
Yep.
takes the end
Yeah.
because
Right.
they've got to have come from somewhere.
So you go farther down the path, and you see after 100 feet or so, it opens up once again into another clearing, and this time sitting in the middle of the clearing is the Witch Elm Inn. Now the surroundings look completely different. This is this strange, creaky, moving forest, but there's the inn sitting right there in the middle of it.
Is my umbrella there?
Yeah, everything that you left there is still there.
Excellent.
I go
I'll
get
take
my umbrella.
The door also is not locked.
I recommend we go in and ransack the place.
Yeah.
At the very least, go grab the candle thing.
Yeah, that's speaking of the candle, now that we're in fucking crazy town, I think I'd read about candles like that in my years of research and curiosity. It's this custom about these things called like hands of glory. If you like cut the hand off of the corpse of a thief or something, and you like turn it into wax, and you can light it up and make like everyone just fall asleep.
Well,
Do
that
you
may
think we
explain
could?
us passing out. Normally, I'm able to handle my beer and liquor.
It, yeah, I mean, I was not even. I hadn't even finished my glass of sherry, and they lit the flames. And I mean, you saw what happened to poor old William.
Well, but why would that hand of glory be her hand unless she's a thief? Is that what you're
That's what
saying?
I don't understand. And she's
Witch,
also clearly
murderer.
not a corpse.
Well, let's look inside and see what we see.
Mm.
Right, you step inside. There are still kerosene lanterns that are burning. The fireplace is down to almost just embers at this point. You look around, and setting on the bar is the hand of glory, except that it is now like this, and there
Right hand?
it's not flaming. I think it was the left hand.
Oh,
It
okay.
must be that. So those fingers must indicate the number of years.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Or the
Right.
amount of times the hand has been used, maybe. Because it was down to that one hand.
Yeah.
It was lit and then curled like a monkey
Yes.
paw.
If no one stops me, I go and get the hand and take it over to Danielle, and because it's a left hand,
Well,
would you care to see if it attaches?
It's
let's
freaky.
start. You go over to the hand, and you said you're going to pick it up.
Yeah.
It has a strange texture. It seems to be extremely tough and leathery. You realize it's not a candle at all, that it is almost like a mummified hand. It's made itself into a fist, and you can see that there is a gold ring on one of the fingers with a large green stone on it. It doesn't look like modern jewelry. It looks like something, like ancient Roman or Byzantine or something like that. It's not beautifully wrought. It's very crude looking.
Is there any writing on that ring?
I would like to sleight of hand the
You don't
ring
see
as
anything
I
like
pick
that.
as I pick up the hand. I'd like to sleight of hand the ring
That is stuck.
to my pocket.
Okay, so first you'll need to do a strength roll, because when you're going to have to try to pry that finger up.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got a 50% chance of that.
When you pry the finger up, look in that palm and see if there's anything in the palm.
I do pry it open. I got 11.
Okay, and then what's your sleight of hand?
50%.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that. That's to see if you get it in your pocket without anybody else notice.
I mean, it's pretty obvious
80.
he's like ripping a hand open.
Well, that's what we're
That's why we
rolling
do the
for.
sleight of hand. It's like, oh, what the heck? Let's get the fingers out.
That's why he's going like this.
87, I'm not that good.
All right. You guys can all see that he's taking the ring off.
Charlie,
Hey.
what you got over there? What's
Hey,
happening?
there's a ring. And she only wanted the hands. She didn't say anything about the ring.
Well, anything special about the ring? Let's
I don't know,
appraise
we'll
it
find out.
together.
But first of
Get
all,
out my loop.
Yeah, we'll appraise it together.
I'll hand it out after we take a look and see if this hand attaches to Danielle if she wants.
It doesn't.
Hands, might want to have it.
While they're doing this, is there? I'm gonna just try and like climb over the bar. Is there like some?
Just walk around it.
Go around.
Yeah.
Go around it. Right. I'm gonna go around it. I'm just gonna like look up and just see if there's like some like nice scotch or something up there.
Mm.
And I'm just gonna take. I'm gonna take a bottle down and I'm just gonna go.
Man
Just
knows
in
his
case things don't
priorities.
go well. Just in case things don't go well. And I'm just gonna put the bottle like away.
Absolutely.
If we get stranded
Yeah.
here, I don't know what else there's going to be to do but get drunk off our asses.
Yes, you got yourself a very nice bottle of Bruichladdich Scotch.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been told you could use a liquor to make, explosives too, can't you?
Or Molotovs.
Well, we wouldn't call
I'm
them
interested in not
Yeah,
setting
we-
my back on fire, personally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking to see if there's like a room behind the bar, like the office or whatever.
There's
or
a small
something.
kitchen. There's also, this is an inn, so there's actually an upstairs as well.
Well,
So all the three of us that are going to look at the ring, who can appraise because we're shopkeepers or whatnot,
Okay.
I will hold it so that we can all look at it. And if we want, can we roll an appraise?
Sure.
Yeah.
Try to get some history about it.
Yes. I got a regular.
Ooh.
Regular.
001.
Oh my
So
God.
one.
Great.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a ring.
it's not anything from modern times. At first glance, you'd almost say that it's very nearly worthless, only because it's very crude. It's not extremely, it's not made by a craftsman. But upon thinking about that further, I mean, if this is something like you would find in the treasure trove of an ancient Roman or an ancient Greek, it would kind of look like this. You can't really tell what the craftsmanship is because there's no writing on it at all. The stone itself, not quite sure what that stone is. At first, you wanted to say emerald. It's definitely got an emerald color, but it's kind of got a jade green color too, and malachite. A lot of different kinds of rocks come into your head, but you can't quite place this one. It could be quite valuable, but it's also not, like a perfectly cut diamond. It's just
Sounds
kind of a
fascinating.
lump of stone.
I say, Charlie, hold on to it to be sure. Once we get back, I might know some people that can help us, get some value out of it.
I know
Let
a
me get this
geologist
straight,
at the
fellas.
British Museum.
Let me get this straight, fellows. We're in this mess because a witch had her hand stolen, and now your plan is to steal her ring.
Oh, not stealing.
No,
We don't know if
stealing-
that's her hand or not. I
Only
mean,
she only got the
It's
hand back.
probably her hand.
Yeah, she'll get her hand.
yeah,
But
the
Danielle-
letter of the contract. That's what we agreed to.
So
Well,
Danielle,
anyways,
you were
while we
looking-
discuss this, let's go to the rooms. I try to distract them. There's rooms upstairs.
So Danielle, you were looking. You could see there's a kitchen.
Yeah,
did
I
you
would-
want to
I
go
would-
there?
Yeah, I'll go into the kitchen.
Okay. Go into the kitchen. Patrick's behind the bar, and who's going upstairs?
I'll go up with William.
I'm
Okay.
going to pocket the ring. And is there like a backpack, sack, a satchel anywhere on like a peg or anything like that?
Anything you'd think you'd find here. Also, if you guys brought stuff with you and set it down next to you on the seat, when you had your drugged food, it's still there.
I would assume I have a satchel that
Yeah,
might have
Got
yeah,
it.
it's
lunch or something.
Oh yeah, can we put the ring under the microscope?
Bruh.
Right? To look at the stone. It makes perfect sense.
I feel like that's a bit redundant with my loot, but you know
I
what?
think
By
it's
all means.
redundant.
No, that's how I got the 001. I was looking at it through the microscope. That
Okay,
all makes sense to me.
that works.
Enhance.
I'll put
Oh
I'll
my
put the
God.
hand in my satchel and throw away the loaf of bread that was in there
okay,
as my snack since we went to the inn.
okay.
Because it looks like Danielle doesn't want to try to stick her stump onto this thing to see if it will attach.
It's kind of creepy looking, so
All right,
let me
I'll
hand.
bag it.
It is a mummified hand, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't
All
think
right.
I'd want that on me.
That was on fire, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, how did they put a wick in it?
At this
Poke a
point,
hole
I'm
in the
not
finger?
sure we want to know the answer to that
Well, and,
question.
and we've opened it, and if we put like 5 more wicks, does it mean we can use it?
Oh, it went immediately back to that. He had to pry it up, and then it just immediately
Oh,
snapped
whoa,
back.
it moved.
I would also, if we're going to split up here and figure where we're going, I would go to the bar and try to find alcohol that is flammable.
There's plenty of it. Yeah.
Okay, I would get a couple bottles and I would grab a lantern. I recommend everybody else grab something like that as well at some point.
Patrick's like
If you're going upstairs.
pointing to the bottom shelf. Patrick's pointing to the bottom shelf. Don't waste the good stuff.
Not mine, not mine. Yeah. Wait, do you
All
think we
right.
should douse the hand in liquor so we could light it on fire easier?
We're not lighting the hand on fire because we could it may be the witch's hand.
No, I mean like later.
We're gonna give this back to
William
the
would
witch.
really like to piss the witch off so that
Yeah,
she
Hmm.
burns and tortures you all forever.
he's like, I really hate rhyming.
All right.
Straight from the Brothers Grimm.
So who's going upstairs?
I believe it was William and I.
William and you. All right. So we'll start with you guys. You go up the stairs. There are 5 rooms. The first 4 that you look in are empty. They're made up, but they don't seem to be lived in. The 5th room, all the way at the far end, seems to be Addison's room where he lives. You open that up. It definitely looks like it's lived in, and that he's been there. It's still in pretty good condition. It's still, he makes his bed and stuff like that. What do you want to do? Do you want to do a spot hidden? Do you want to look for something
Yeah,
in
like
particular?
search his desk. There must be journals, documents, money, important artifacts, money,
So
little
there is in fact
Okay.
on his desk, there is what looks like a kind of sketchbook. And sticking out of the sketchbook are a whole bunch of newspaper clippings. We won't go through all of the newspaper clippings because they're all kind of similar in their subject. But this is the first one that you find. We can't hear you.
You're muted.
Yeah, Rambler found dead on moors. This is June 1921. Rambler missing since December, found near Witch Grove. The mystery surrounding the disappearance of Miss Sophia Raley, 22 years of age, of Thornlees, Duisburg, was solved this morning by the discovery of her body on the edge of the woods near Rutland Moor. Miss Riley left her home about 6 o'clock on Thursday morning to meet with her friends and go rambling. She was last seen by patrons at the Witch Elm Inn. Those who knew her say she was in good spirits and enjoyed greatly nature. Those at the inn said she was friendly and rather talkative, and spoke of returning home in time for her work. What
Yeah.
became of her after that has remained a mystery up until this morning. A diligent search by the West Riding Police and the fullest inquiries among relatives and friends, but they failed to reveal her whereabouts. Miss Raley's body was discovered by a rambler, John Martin. The body was conveyed to the Victoria Hospital, where an inquest will be held, probably tomorrow. There was nothing found in the young lady's pocket likely to throw any light on the tragedy. Miss Raley is only the latest in a series of disappearances that have taken place in the area of the Yorkshire moors, and the authorities would remind locals and ramblers alike not to hike alone. Over the past 20 years, it is estimated that between 30 and 40 people have gone missing while in the wilderness places. Nature is beautiful, but it is also very dangerous and unforgiving. Even minor injuries can leave a person stranded and unable to seek help. Miss Raley was well loved by her family, friends, and community. She was a good worker. She will be greatly missed. And at the bottom right, there's Will's Gold Flake cigarettes. That's a clue.
That's, um, the sketchbook, though, is filled with all sorts of very disturbing sort of pictures. I'll show you two of them. This is the first one. It does have some writing on it.
She speaks of her young 5 long years. Are young in exchange for hers or hero? We had no choice.
It's hers, yeah. And the second picture is this.
They stand dormant in the dark woods. At least the woods are safe again.
What kind of absurdist nonsense is that?
Like a
So,
bargain was struck and the woods were eating people,
I ain't
and
never
she
seen
calmed the
a
woods.
ain't never seen a bunch of brambles looking like that before.
so downstairs, in as Danielle and Charlie uh, are behind the bar, and there's a door going into the kitchen. As you step inside, you can see it's a fairly small kitchenette where Addison could prepare food and stuff like that. But both of you do spot hiddens.
Pass.
Okay. Um, well, as long as one of you pass, Danielle, uh, as you walk into the kitchen and sort of turn the corner, you realize there is a trap door in the floor.
Oh, not spooky at all. I'll go down.
I
You
had
oh
not I had not gone into the kitchen.
oh
I was going
Uh,
to look through the rest of the bar and cabinets out here to see if there was anything there first.
okay. Um, yeah, you're looking through the bar. It's just bar stuff.
Okay, then I would follow into the kitchen.
Okay. And
hey,
Danielle says, "Hey, there's a
Charlie, there's a trap door down here.
Oh, let me get that for you.
Oh,
and Patrick, where are you?"
a little shorthanded here.
I was still behind the bar, but if I can hear them from where I am, I might
Yeah.
follow as well.
All right. So the three of you step into the kitchen and you see there's a trap door, and it obviously goes down to a basement. You know, it's kind of vertical, so the trap door opens and there is a not completely up and down ladder, but kind of one of those
Right.
heavily slanted ones, so that you got to kind of hold on as you go down them.
Oh, that'll
Where
be no
it's,
worries.
it's safer to turn around and walk down and treat it like a ladder.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm
easier
gonna
to
do
turn
that.
around and go down. Okay.
Yeah.
And I got a lamp with me. I'll have it in the one of the crook of my arms, while I'm climbing down.
Okay. So as you go down, in addition to all of the stuff you might expect to see in a basement, there's barrels, there's things like that, places where he stores dry food and so forth. Towards the back, there is a table, and in the middle of the table is another one of these bell jars that was like the one that was up in the front. There's also a large old book that's sitting next to it. As you approach, and the light from your lantern lights it up better, you can see that inside the bell jar is the other hand, the right hand, and it also has one finger stuck up like this, or like the other one did.
I'll take.
You think potentially if we light that, we can put everybody to sleep? I'm not going to try it, but does there look like there's a wick in it?
It does.
Oh, wow.
Like the whole thing was dipped in tallow.
Okay. Well, I would take it out of the bell jar, put it in my satchel, and then go over to the book.
Okay.
Is there a ring on this one?
There is not.
Oh, okay.
All right. You notice that there is a bookmark that's in the book. The book is fairly thick. The book looks old. Who's the book dealer, by the way? Finn. Finn, if you're there and you see it, this could easily be like 14th century, 13th century. It's very old.
I would call out for Patrick to come and take a look at it.
I've come down too as well, so I've probably like wandered over to the book as well. I imagine. So, that's
in memory, as we were walking through the kitchen, were there any like really good meat cleaver?
Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Anything that you'd think that would be there for that. So you flip the book open to the page that's marked. First of all, the cover of the book is titled "The Removal of Curses Caused by Witchcraft." And the font that's been used is a very old, archaic one. You immediately realize that the English in the book is old, Middle English, Shakespeare, really old.
It sounds like you're
do any of you have languages?
Makes you sound like a hammered German.
Yeah. Do any of you have language?
That's a good question.
I have English.
Yeah. I have a language, German, French, and English.
Well, I have like high regular English. So
William, you and I are still pouring over the journal.
We're still
right
up
now.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 80 in English.
I have
then Danielle, it sounds like you might have studied some English then.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and roll that?
Okay.
You only need one hand to flip pages, so that's okay.
I got a hard.
Excellent. Okay, so as for the fun of it, this is what the page actually looks like.
Oh dear.
But I have realized that it's I made you do the English roll to see if I can change the font for you so that it's a little easier.
Magic.
And then
awesome.
Okay.
The spelling is still the original, so it's
the devil's real me.
The removal of curses caused by witchcraft. Banishment to the devil's realm. If a witch has inflicted harm to a community, it is right and proper that she be infernally banished henceforth, never to return. In order to enact the aforesaid banishing, at sundown on the longest day of the year, lusty and brave souls must first steal the witch and remove her hands, which hold her power. The excised hands out them be dipped in sheep's tallow with the fingers extending, placing on each finger's tip a wick of linen paper. The smallest finger on the left hand is lighted, and the following prayer be said. For the holiness of God, we gather to bring the witch away to the devil's realm. We pledge we will be her custodians of her taking off, there but only to witness her plight, keeping the memory of home close, that we might return after she meets her grim reward. You shall then travel with her to the devil's prison. Look not to the skies, lest your mind be harmed by the dancing and trickery of the demons, for the skies hold phantasms and false visions. When you have been assured that she is held there, you may return by reciting this prayer while igniting the same finger as before, but on the right hand. For the holiness of God, the imprisonment is done. Banished be the witch and all her devil workings and constructions. Following the memory of home, let us leave this place knowing that we are now safe. Banished be the witch and all her machinations, only by the will and high permission of God. Machinations?
Machinations, I think.
Machinations?
Like workings.
Workings?
Yeah.
Schemes.
Oh my God!
That's
They're halfway through this banishment spell. They fucked it up.
So we should all go into the inn, get together, light the finger, say the prayer, and we all go home.
Something tells me they would have tried that over the course of 5 years. Just an inkling. So
Unless they're in the middle of the spell.
yes,
Yeah.
but surely they would have found the book and tried this.
While Danielle is reading, is there any thing else down here in this
Nothing
basement?
of any significance.
I would go back upstairs to the kitchen and gather various knives that could be used as weapons, and I would later on hand them out to the group. The biggest
Okay.
one, the nice big meat
Butcher
cleave.
knife, things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the big one that you cut bone with, I'm keeping that one for myself.
Yeah.
what did the rest of you find? We found these journals.
Hey, we found a book on how to banish a witch. And oh yeah, I found
Oh.
these knives. I recommend everybody have one.
Yeah. I'll take
Awesome.
one.
Here we go. Here's a knife. Here's a lantern.
I'll take one sharp but small.
Here's some. This is booze that can. It's cheap, but it can be flammable. Burn a witch. Maybe, I don't know.
But crack someone over the back of the head with it too.
Yep, and then light them on fire with your lantern.
So, friends, what have we discovered? Based on what we've seen upstairs, it seems like there's something weird with the woods. There's people gone missing, and then something happened.
There's this horribly creepy sketches of like squat trees. I don't know how familiar you are with more Ukraine nature, but it almost looks like a baobab tree, like it's squat.
I know all things related, good sir.
Well, I wasn't. And there's also these odd news articles talking about disappearances. Looks like there was a woman that disappeared around this place back in 21, around 5 years ago. Might be. I'm not so sure that these people. I mean, maybe they've been. I mean, they dragged us into it, so there might be there are others, but the fact that her body was found almost makes me think that maybe she was killed by the witch, and this might have been like the one of the retaliatory incidents that motivated the people to cut her hands off.
You think
Howard,
The
there
timing
were
seems right in 1921.
there were no articles after 1921.
Yeah,
do you think if we take it all at face value, something was happening in the woods, people were going missing, they believed it was a witch, and they may have been right. They had the book. They went, captured her, cut off her hands, did the first half, and banished her to this world.
No,
And
they
she
struck
grabbed
a bargain with her
her.
first. They struck a bargain with her to stop something. to make the woods safe again.
They struck the bargain with her to try and get their kids back, I think, because they cut her hands off, then she took the kids. They banished her here, and from here, she somehow got the kids here, and then they've been working the deal.
Doesn't it say in the book there that they would all be transported to the Devil's Prison to watch over her?
Right, and then they have to recite it to come back.
Right, and then I'm laying odds that the reason why they didn't recite it, or they may have several times to come and grab us and transport there and back, but they don't want to leave completely because Auntie had their kids.
Right, and now that the kids are here, if we light the right hand, the wick, and then recite it, we and all of them should be able to go back immediately, unless the children are stuck here through other means. But we'll be fine.
We'll be a couple of us will be handless.
There are two things I don't like about that. Actually, with the hand, that makes it 3. But one, that seems suspiciously easy. 2, even hands aside, the idea of double crossing this witch gives me pause. And 3, this is my stump speaking. I would prefer to have my hand back if possible.
Yeah.
So you want to complete the bargain?
I would prefer to just
listen. I'm open for us trying this potentially, but I don't know. My gut is telling me that there's something not right.
We can ask
everybody can do intelligence rolls.
All right. Oh, 93. I'm really putting on my thinking cap.
Failed.
Wow, I actually succeeded. My id is a 65-45. So
I got an extreme.
Fumbled. Fumbled. It must be the stew.
I made it.
If you made it, you suddenly realize that today is June 21st. This is the summer solstice.
Yeah, it's 5 years to the day.
We need brave and
mention it was
people.
She mentioned something about the day or the solstice when we first met
the
her.
longest, yeah.
Yeah.
The longest day is also the shortest night.
Shortest night, yeah. Oh God. Yeah, I guess that's true. No matter what we do, we need to be decisive.
The book also that you just acquired, that was downstairs, says that on the longest day is when you can travel back and forth between here and the Devil's Realm. Well, this is the Devil's Realm, obviously.
Oh.
But it's night.
But the solstice was yesterday. This morning.
It's still...
No, I meant the actual day portion of the solstice was the day they came and got us.
Yes.
We're in the nighttime of it, and we're running out of time. There is no other day.
Well, no. We could go back. The gate is open, but we can still go back if we read the prayer. It'll automatically send us back.
One thing I'm going to do, might I suggest we put both hands in the same bag for now?
I got them there. Yep.
Yeah. Are they both in this the same?
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't know who took what.
I took them out of the jar. Both hands are in.
Yeah. I just forgot who took the first one. That's all. Oh, good.
I still think you might want, whoever is short of hand, I still think you might want to try to put one on your stump and see what happens.
I thought you already tried that. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Might I suggest we just
I'll still
try this
pick up
bargain
the
for
right
now?
hand to mess around.
Charlie has them both, yeah.
I personally have no problem with handing over your corresponding hand to the people who are short of a hand so that you can make the even exchange directly.
That
if you
might
want
work.
it. Otherwise, I'm carrying your futures.
I'll hold the right hand.
Danielle, would you care to hold your...
Yeah, I'll put it in my pocket.
Okay. I'm keeping the right.
Then Howard and Danielle do intelligence rolls.
Okay.
I think that's a pass.
There.
Just
I got a 1. Stop.
Smart. Wicked smart.
Yeah, I got a regular.
Okay. So Danielle thinks of it first. Howard, you think of it right as she is putting her thoughts together. But now you've also probably shared the information that you've gotten. So year one, they light that finger and they travel here. And they light this finger and come home. Then the next year, next year, next year, next year. You've got one pop to go back.
Okay.
And like the witch said, this is it. If she doesn't get those hands back, you are all trapped here permanently.
But
That's
why
another
would
thing
they?
that's worth mentioning about that spell, though, is that we're not the ones that started the spell. What if us finishing it, since we're not the original users, it doesn't affect us? And then we just waste time, and then we're trapped here, and we didn't fulfill the bargain.
I
You're
think
welcome
Yes.
to check that. You guys are
I'm-
here. So
I think we're here. In order to get back, that's the only way we're ever going to get back. We could go to the villagers and say, let's do the thing, but what it's going to cost you guys is your hands.
Well,
I want my hand personally, and I think that regardless of what we're doing here, we shouldn't be dilly-dallying, and we should be on the move again.
I'm heading. I want to go straight back to the witch. I don't see. I think it's just straightforward. Just return the hands. I don't really
Yeah.
care too much about these people. Got themselves into this mess.
So
Rather cold-hearted, but
So
I
show of
would be
hands
in
to return it
consensus.
to the witch.
Aha.
Hmm.
So one hand to go, two hands, three hands.
Okay, 3 hands.
So William and
Yeah.
I both just want to get out of here without
yeah.
that.
We could just get out without needing anything. Again, we're not the ones shorthanded.
In
So to
both more
speak.
than one way, because you also gave the two of us missing hands the leverage. So, I don't know about you, Danielle, but I want to
Yeah.
give these back to the witch.
Yeah, let's go.
Hmm.
Let's set out and go back. I will go along with those who are shorthanded that they want to do the exchange, which is the reason why I gave you your corresponding hands in the first place.
I should mention that in every
Oh,
other
God.
version that we've run this,
Oh my God.
the hand puns just seem to take over the game at some
Oh my
point.
God.
And we're
So it's
somehow
gotten
not doing
Short-handed,
Out of hand.
It's
out of
okay.
hand,
Let's
short-handed.
hand it out.
Look. There's no harm in a couple of hand puns every now and then.
I am this close.
As we're walking back, I want to give a secret gift to my antiquarian friend who has who's very short of funds. I would like to sleight of hand the ring into William Green's pocket.
Oh, I'm the antique dealer, but I will. Yeah. Do you want to roll?
Well, he wants to sleight of hand it to you.
Yeah.
That
They
means
need
you're
to
not
roll.
going to know about it. So
So you don't know
do
about
a
it.
sleight
That's
of
in your
hand.
pocket. 04.
Nice.
Ooh.
So you
That's
very
interesting.
casually drop it into William's pocket and he doesn't know about it.
So, okay, just before we step from the inn,
Mhm.
did you guys grab the sketchbook and show us the picture?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
With the
so
baobab tree looking.
it looks like it's a tree, and I would like to look at any wooden items in this room, like a table, and see if like the table is maybe made from a wooden tree.
Oh, well, yeah.
From the
A
sketch.
lot of things in the room are made from wood, but I'll let you do a pow roll.
Okay. Can I spend luck?
You want to.
I do want to.
Okay.
I'll spend 7 luck to pass it.
Oh, that's not so much luck. So all of the wood inside the inn seems, like I said, warm and wholesome, and it's been there, and it's worn down from so many people, and it has a very pleasant, homely sort of feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
That forest outside seems extremely menacing,
Okay.
and there seems to be a lot of a lot of similarity between that forest out there and those things in the sketchbook.
Okay.
What trees swaying in the non-existent wind?
So my thought right now, and I'm probably gonna talk to who else was it? Patrick, because he had the intelligence, I think, role too.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna tell him that that witch looked really tall and that what if her hands aren't hands and what if her hands are like branches or wood that the townsfolk has chopped off of the tree, the treant, and maybe we should bring some wooden items with us in
I
hopes
can
that
make
it's
her
her hand.
hands. I can make her wooden hands.
Maybe wooden hands? I don't know.
Turns out 85 in woodworking was the ace in the hole we needed.
Yes,
Yes.
finally.
Can we just like pop a couple of like chair legs off of something and just take just
Well,
off
yeah, you
chance?
guys gave me knives. One of you, Charlie, gave me a knife, so I could get to work
Yeah.
now.
While we're walking.
Yeah.
A
Frankly, I
little bit of
suggest
a
just
whittling
picking up.
job.
Whittle. Yes, can you please just whittle from this table two wooden hands, please?
Frankly, I would suggest
I made a
just
two
picking
by
up the
four
pace
from
and
a
getting
4x4.
moving.
That's all I can do.
Okay, I'm done. I'm off of
All right.
my
So
Scooby Squad mystery solving.
Crackpot theories.
so as you walk back down the path, um, can all do spot hiddens again.
Uh-oh.
And this time, William and I aren't enraptured in conversation the whole time.
No, still 86 doesn't help me.
Dice
And
went straight off the table.
I'm right there with you in 84.
Twins, William, twins, except I have a 99,
Ooh,
which I think that.
Let's have a look.
got a
Okay,
branch
my
in your
spot
eye.
hidden is exactly 50, so that's not a fumble.
I got a hard. I got a hard.
Oh, that's how
Patrick
much.
has really good like observation skills in general.
Yeah.
So Patrick, as
That's
you're
about all.
walking, you begin to notice that the branches above you are a little more pronounced, and you realize the reason is because the sky is getting a little lighter.
Friends, might I suggest we go from ramblers to runners?
Da-da-da-da-da.
I don't
You
do cardio. That's bad for my constitution.
I think
you
staying on an alien planet is also pretty bad for your constitution.
I think we can double time it.
A
Oh,
brisk
Yes,
walk.
pick up the pace, friends.
you pick up the pace. You move into the middle uh, clearing where all the families are, and the parents at this point are now mostly in tears. They're trying very hard to comprehend what's about to happen. The children still seem in good spirits. They don't seem to notice that their parents are sad. Maybe their parents are trying a little bit hard not to let the children see that they're sad. But there's like 20 families here.
Do you guys think all the children should join us so that if we leave, they come with us?
I mean, that's part of the bargain, wasn't it? That everyone goes free.
He might just be able to let everyone go back, wave of their fingers, whether they're present or not. I'd say we not waste any time on it. If we want them to come with us that bad, we just yell, "Follow us if you want to live,"
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
because we're not stopping.
Yeah, I don't stop to consider it. I'm just still walking.
Okay. Do you all agree, or are some of you going to stop? Or
I'm going to maintain the pace, but verbally, if you want to come with us, follow us.
why would we want to come to Auntie's house?
We're finishing off the spell that you guys started. We're gonna end this.
You're one of the guys says, "You're not going to give her back her hands, are you?"
Yes, we are.
I waved it with one of my hands, and then I darted to the woods.
Yeah, I'm off.
I don't know
Howard, what
those
do you mean
people.
you dart into the woods? Do you mean
Oh,
Well,
down
I
the
mean, like
path
what?
or?
yeah, I did mean the path. If you
Yeah.
want to take it literally and said I accidentally went into the woods, I'm not in a
It's like,
position to necessarily disagree. But I wanted to, just run away towards
Yeah, just booking
the
it.
cottage.
All right. So you guys run back through the tunnel, and you've come to the cottage, and there it
are they
is in front of
chasing us
you.
at all? Or is there
No,
like a reaction? Okay.
no, they want to spend time with their kids.
Mm.
Um, they realize this might be the very last time they ever get to see their kids.
Probably. I think the kids are going to come with us. Maybe.
If,
All right.
yeah. If we
So
look
as you
outside the house, anything unusual, anything different?
no, but as you get to the house and you are looking around, you can see that the sky is turning redder on the horizon. And as you kind of imagine, since you're on some other world, you imagine at some point a sun's going to come up around the edge. You go
The
up
damn
to
door open.
Auntie's house, and as you get there, before you even get to the porch, the door swings open. What do you do?
We have the hands.
Come out, Auntie. Let's make a bargain.
I'm still just to make sure we don't waste time. I'm
Oh,
going in the
you guys are
door.
going in? Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
going
Yeah,
in.
yeah, going in.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll go
so
with
you
Howard.
go in, and she's standing there, and she says, "Do you have me hands?"
I hold out the hand.
She says, "There's a good boy." And you see her reach up. I can't remember which hand you have.
I'm
He has
missing
the
my
right.
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 I have my
Okay,
left remaining.
Which has
she
one more
reached
finger left. Yeah.
she reaches up for her own the hand that she has of yours, and she sort of rips it off. You can feel it sort of snagging and pulling away as the little tentacles unwrap themselves. And she sort of tosses it at you, and with her other hand she extends it and says, "Give it to me."
I hand her the hand.
The hand, and she immediately brings it over, and it begins to reattach itself. At the same time, your hand, if you bring it close to your wrist, you notice that it also is reattaching itself to your wrist. And at first it stings and it's itchy, but you can feel almost as if it's reconnecting itself properly. And she's
What
like,
a-
me hand, where's the other one?"
Now, Miss Auntie, but before we give you the other hand, we do have it. We fully intend to. Can we just get one more final reassurance that when we give you this hand, we will all be returned home safely?
She says, bargains are sacred, my dear. Calamity and defeat unless they are complete.
Very well.
Okay. I give her hand.
Okay. Give her back her hand. And the same thing exchange happens, that
I would
she puts her own back on, she gives you yours,
I
and
kind of want to do
somehow
a cool move where I just reach my stump out and then hope that it like reattaches midair.
it's sort yeah, okay. Yeah, it grabs a hold. It's weird, the feeling as it grabs a hold of your arm and begins to reattach itself. And she's like, at last, me hands are restored. Where is my ring?
Charlie,
I don't have it.
Charlie.
You've taken me ring. Where is me ring? That wasn't part of the
Man.
bargain.
I don't know what you're talking about in our defense.
Yeah.
Not being part of the bargain, doesn't that
We
mean it's
probably-
outside the
If
terms?
she
Bargain
looks
was we bring
pissed,
you
I'm
home?
just slowly getting out of the cabin.
The bargain
I'm
was
just gonna-
bring your hands.
I'm gonna grab
She,
William and just say and just keep it. No, you're not. You're not going to escape. None of us are escaping until we find this damn ring.
What are you talking about? I'm leaving. Why would I be stuck in a room with you guys?
She begins to
Yeah, none of you saw
loom
anything,
up
remember?
as she is upset about the missing ring. Her shawls begin to sort of fall away, and you can see that she is very much like an old gnarled tree stump. The sound of her shuffling on the floor was because she doesn't really have a lower torso except this sort of spidery wooden uh, thing. And she's like, "Where's me ring? You must have me ring. You took me ring. Give it back now."
I confess.
I'm just gonna-
I confess. It's in William's pocket.
What? It can't be in my pocket. What are you talking about?
Turn out your pockets anyway, man.
William, as you are stepping out of the hut, room, you look around and the trees are now moving, and some of them are starting to pull their own roots up out of the ground and rise up. You also notice that there are places in the bark that at first you thought they were, like when you cut a limb off of a tree,
Yeah.
but they're not. They're more like mouths that are opening with
Like
sharp,
malls, yeah.
like maws. Yeah.
Oh.
Is the path still there or is the path like gone?
The
William,
path is
it's in
still
your
there, but all the
pocket.
trees are starting to move.
Okay.
For God's sake, William.
Yeah, I'm
turn out your
running down. I'm running down the path.
I'm going right after him.
Yeah,
I'm right after
I'm
him.
taking the rest of you with me. I'm running down the path.
I'm right after him. Immediately.
You don't know I have the ring.
Well, check anyway,
You
you
don't know
damn
you have
fool.
the ring either.
Yeah. No one knows except Charlie.
He did just confess.
Well, he said
I,
you. He,
I told him
Yeah.
I confess. It's in William's pocket.
for the sake of argument,
Yeah.
turn out your damn pocket.
This is insane. And then I reach in and I imagine I see it. What the hell is this doing here?
Give me that.
No,
I'm
what the hell is
snatching
this
it
doing here? I'm just keeping him away.
Charlie, I would like you to do a dodge roll as she reaches out to try and grab you, since you said that you had it, or you,
I confessed and said William has it and pointing at him.
but she's pissed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the scene of the
I
crime.
spend 21 points of luck
Oh
to
my
succeed on my
God.
dodge.
Okay.
Hope she didn't get a heart.
She swings at you. And she's like, "Do I need to call me children?"
Oh my God.
Do not call the children. Billy, hand over the ring.
Are you guys outside with me or are you guys just calling from inside
I'm
the room?
peeking my head out the hut and
You're all
demanding,
fleeing
and
the
if you're
scene.
not coming back, I'm going to chase you. May or may not
Yeah.
throw my knife at you.
Well, I'm kind of like being held back by you, aren't I? Because I like was reaching for the ring, so presumably I'm in like
Yeah,
close
like
enough to
I
you.
guess maybe the two of us are outside kind of thing. Yeah.
William, do a
I run by them if I can.
Do a luck roll. Okay, let's see. Luck. Ooh, 15 under was my luck. 65. So I'm good.
So I'll leave it up to you, but you can make it through the tunnel of trees before they close in and start marching, or you can come back and
Let's see. Now I could either run to what passes for safety and left the people who try to plant a ring on me to die on their own, or I could come back. Decisions.
Can I like swing a punch, please? and just like grab
That's
the ring
part of
and
my
fucking
luck.
run.
he's a bit ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, fine. Take your damn ring. I throw it over back towards Patrick and continue running. Can I do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Patrick, do a luck roll.
Oh dear.
This is when if
And
you
I go,
fumble, you accidentally swallow it.
Right.
Oh,
Like
she
he
can get it
wears
back.
and now it's stuck. Yeah.
You fucking jinxed me.
Did I?
It's not a fumble, but it is a fail.
Well, you could
All
burn luck.
right.
Oh, wait, you can't.
I can't because it's a fucking luck roll.
So,
Damn
so
it.
Patrick, it lands in amongst the mossy grass and field, and you can't see it. So it's somewhere near your feet, somewhere down there, but it seems to be
I'm not going to
eluding you
reach
at the
down.
moment.
I'm not going to reach down, but can I like sort of like lightly tap my feet around to try and like get
You're
an
looking
impression?
for it. Your luck roll says you can't find it.
Ah,
What
Can
do
I
the others
assist?
do?
I'm gonna I see the whole thing happen, and I'm like, I think I'm pretty close to Patrick, so I just like drop down with both my nice hands and start feeling.
Okay. Do a spot hidden roll if you're
This you
helping.
spend luck on.
Oh, extreme!
Hey yo.
All right, you find it, Danielle. You
Ah!
pick up the ring.
I put it on.
You put it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
One ring to rule them all.
hmm.
And then I
Um,
start walking back to the
Right.
witch, I guess.
Do the trees start like listening to her?
no, but the trees are definitely pulling themselves out of the ground and starting to move. They're not trees. They're tree-like monstrous things. I would say if you're going to go back to her, I'd still say everybody needs to do a sanity roll at this point.
Yeah,
Oh,
before-
sweet.
peeking out the window and
Yeah.
seeing living trees.
Fail.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a fail.
I pass. I'm just running.
I did
I wanted
pass
I
this.
wanted to fail, but I actually rolled a 16. I succeed.
Okay. Yeah, if you succeed 1d4, if you
Oh, cool.
fail 1d6.
3 on the
Oh,
success.
6.
That's
Oh
rough.
my God.
All right,
Dude.
here's where it all fucks up.
6.
I took the 4, but I'm not at a break point.
I am
Okay.
3
I got a
points
What's a
away.
what's a break point?
I
1/5
Don't
of
worry
your
about
starting sand in one day. It
Oh.
doesn't matter too much
Yeah,
for this
like
game.
temp insanity. Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
got a fifth.
But
I got a
Danielle got a
five.
6.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Ugh.
Red miss, red miss, red miss.
Do an intelligent roll.
Red mist.
Intelligence.
Red
Red
mist.
miss, red.
What was red mist?
Start
You'll love
killing
it.
everyone around you.
Oh my God. Wait, what intelligence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have really high intelligence, right?
I got a 70 out of 75.
Oh, you
Oh,
didn't
see
want to
it.
pass.
I passed.
You
Yeah, but you
understood.
didn't want to.
You did not want
I-
it.
The good news
Right.
is that you're going
All right.
insane from a mythos source and you gain
Right.
5 Cthulhu mythos.
Right.
Roll,
Nice.
roll a
I got it in
1d,
99.
As a scientist, yeah.
roll a 1d8 for me then.
1d8. Okay.
I got a 99
7.
on my intelligence roll, so I fumbled my intelligence roll. So we're
Roll,
good.
roll an additional 1d4.
Oh my gosh.
Subtables are so spooky.
A 1.
Interesting.
Uh-oh.
So nothing's going to happen to you at the moment, but you are
Huh.
going to definitely develop a phobia of
Oh.
some sort, probably from giant tree monsters, probably from trees.
No.
No forests allowed. What lives
All
in
right.
the darkness
But
of
my
the
vitamin research.
But
Oh,
you
yeah,
run
you can't
forward.
do
Do
any.
you give her the ring?
I do give her the ring.
I thought you were wearing
And when she does,
Well,
when
yeah, I'm
she
wearing
does,
it, and I kind
Well,
can I just sort of say like,
you wear it, you don't drop it is the good thing.
of, yeah.
yeah, when she like gives the ring over, can I just sort of say, I'm terribly sorry, Auntie. Well, acquaintance of ours, he can be a bit light-fingered.
She takes the ring and she puts it on her finger. And probably within a couple of seconds, just before the sun comes up around the horizon, she says, "It's done." And she claps her hands together. And you suddenly find yourself outside the front porch of the Witch Elm Inn, and you are back in the English moors. And all around you are these families with their children. But I need you to all roll. Hold on. It's my place. Um, roll magic. Roll for your magic points.
So we haven't
Wait,
spent
does
any,
that
so
make
that'd
any
be like
sense?
rolling POW, right?
Yeah, roll
Yeah.
your POW.
How?
I can't find the spot. Yeah,
Yep.
roll the POW.
Fail.
I
Oh,
exactly.
Hard
fail.
pass.
Fail.
Hard
Hard
pass
pass
here
on POW.
too.
Not a
Okay.
hard, but I do have a 35 out of 40.
Okay. Um. Okay. Let's do it this way. I found the spot. Um. I need you collectively to spend 18 magic points.
Okay,
So
Oh,
seven.
good.
you can split those up between you.
I'll pitch in 7.
I'll put in
I'll do
6.
I'll
I'll
put
do
in
four.
6.
4.
Okay. None of you spent more than you had, so you
Right.
take no physical damage. And now I would like you to sacrifice a total of 90 willpower
Oh,
split up amongst you.
Okay.
What's is willpower power?
POW. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh.
Sacrifice? I already sacrificed a freaking
All right.
hand.
I mean,
we
it
took a
goes
hand. I'll pitch
it
in
goes
10.
away permanently.
Yeah. I mean, I failed my POW, so I figured I'll lose 10. That's fair.
20.
I'll do 20.
20, 20, 10, 10. That puts
I've
us at
only got
60.
40. I've only got 40 POW total.
I'll
Yeah,
do
but you're the reason we're in
another
this mess.
I'll drop
You're
10.
in the specific to guess. Yeah.
another 10. I'll do another 20. That'll get it to 90.
I'll do
So
another
the
10.
The
That gets.
effect of
Wait,
that
never mind.
Okay.
the effect of that it impacts your mental abilities.
Oh,
And personal drive.
Yeah, you're a little dumber than you were before. But you are all back. You're back at the inn. It's morning. All of the parents have come back. All of their children have come back. All of the children are perfectly normal. All of the parents have pretty much damn near lost all of their POW points, and they are blithering idiots, like mentally damaged at this point.
So I'm going to walk up to Charlie and punch him in the face.
You could do
I dodge.
All right.
If he does do that, I'm just gonna like stomp. If he falls to the ground, I'm gonna like curb stomp him.
Oh no!
Get into a big fight. Yeah.
At the end, just TPK. All right. See, unarmed.
So the outcome of this is you succeeded. You got back home. You rescued the children. Now the children are all going to have to go into foster or something because their parents are mentally
vegetables.
But you also begin to notice in the newspaper over the course of the next few years that people are going missing in this area again. And you're pretty sure that Auntie came back with you, and she's out there in the woods with those monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the end of our story.
Well,
so I think you figured it out. They knew that she was out there, and they found a way to trap her and hopefully rid themselves of whoever was murdering ramblers. But she got her revenge by taking the children with her. The children, this is interesting, the children were not aware of the passage of time. As far as they knew, it's only been a few hours that they were trapped in the woods. And they didn't think they were trapped. They thought they were playing. Auntie didn't seem at all menacing to them. She was a high priestess of Shub-Niggurath, and the tree things were all, what do they call, dark young. And she's out there in the woods with the dark young, and they do occasionally eat people that they run across. Now, the real fun of this scenario is the question of what are you going to do? Because if you had lit the candle and said the prayer, you would theoretically have come home. You'd, of course, condemned all of those people to a horrible death at the hand of Auntie in that other world, which you would have had to have lived with.
And
However,
sacrificed 2 hands.
the thing that's a little unclear in that old English text is you had to use something as a totem to spur your memory. A walking stick, an umbrella, something like that. But you'd have to be aware of it because it's kind of the old, there's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. Otherwise, you escape, but you end up on some other planet or realm.
Oh, wow.
Completely randomly. The real fun one is, and you have to do the rolls. The other fun one is if you fumble on trying to get back home, the Devil's Realm and Earth collide with one another, and the whole planet is obliterated because you've literally brought the two
end the world.
Same space.
Oh, that's hilarious.
End the world.
Like a conversion thing. Beautiful.
You could try and kill Auntie. It's not easy. And of course, all of her children are going to try to stop you.
A pack of 5 investigators stands no chance against one of those things, and nevertheless a forest.
The safest and easiest one is to give her back the hands with the ring. If you give them back without the ring, then very likely she won't let you leave. She'll kill you all before she leaves. But yeah, it's interesting, all of the different outcomes.
You tried being those sly bastards.
Guess I'm giving up rambling in the woods.
Yeah, we're not rambling in Yorkshire anymore.
So was the ring special in any way, or was it just like a memento?
Well, it probably had magic, but stuff that only she could.
MP in it, which we can't cast spells. That means nothing to us.
She was a high priestess, so it might be her token of office or whatever.
And the kind of thing you'd forget to say anything about. But yeah, she was a stickler for the bargain. She will do what she says she will do. Anyway, let's go ahead and end it, and we can talk a little bit afterwards. Our players included Sham Sabin, Jenny Olson, Michael Palumbo, Finbar Gallagher, and Billy Chung, with yours truly as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons, who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, listed in the description, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming. These are our hands.